Hi all, today we are going to discuss about input tax credit, their eligibility and condition. Um, Input tax credit refers to the credit a taxpayer can claim for the tax paid on purchases, that is input, used in the course of businesses. It reduces the tax liability on output. Purpose of input tax credit to prevent cascading effect of taxes, to ensure seamless credit flow from manufacturer to consumer, boost compliance and reduce tax evasion by maintaining a transparent credit trail. GST context applicable across all stages of supply, ensuring minimal tax leakages. Then, who can avail input tax credit? Only registered persons, that is, any individual or entity that is registered under the GST regime can claim input tax credit. Taxpayers eligible to claim input tax credit. Regular taxpayers, agents supplying goods or services on behalf of another registered taxpayer, input service distributors, e-commerce operators who are required to collect tax. Taxpayers under the composition scheme, then non-resident taxable persons with limited exceptions, those dealing in exempt supplies or engaged in non-taxable activities. Then conditions for eligibility. First one is registration under GST must be a registered taxable person with a valid GST identification number, that is a GSTIN. Next is receipt of goods or services. ITC can only be claimed after the receipt of goods or services for which the tax input tax was paid. The next one is possession of valid documents. ITC can only be claimed if a valid tax invoice, debit note, prescribed document is available. The next one is payment of tax. The supplier must have paid the tax on the goods or services to the government for the buyer to claim ITC input tax credit. Then next is timely filing of returns. Input tax credit is available only if the taxpayer has filed their returns GSTR 3B and matched the supplier's details in GSTR 2A or 2B. Purpose of use. The goods or services should be used for business purposes. Ineligible input tax credit. Certain goods or services not eligible for input tax credit. Motor vehicles used for transportation of goods or passengers or providing taxable services of transportation. Personal consumption items. Goods or services used for personal purposes. Construction of immovable property. In constructing immovable property except plant and machinery. Specific exclusions. ITC cannot be claimed on membership of clubs, health or fitness centers, travel benefits extended to employees for personal trips. Blocked credits. Any goods lost, stolen, destroyed, written off or given as gifts or free samples. Next is conditions for reversal of ITC. Non-payment to supplier. If the recipient does not pay the supplier within 180 days from the invoice date, input tax credit needs to be reversed. Non-business purpose. If goods or services are used partly for non-business purposes, the proportion of ITC claimed for non-business purposes should be reversed. Next one is goods lost or stolen or destroyed. ITC on such goods must be reversed if the goods are lost, stolen, or destroyed. Credit notes issued. If a credit note is issued by the supplier, the corresponding ITC must be reversed. Actually, time limit for availing ITC. ITC must be availed before the due date for filing GSTR 3B for the month of September following the end of the financial year. Filing of the annual return, whichever is earlier. Practical implication. Businesses need to ensure all ITC is claimed within the time limit or they will lose the right to claim it. Next one is documents required for ITC, tax invoice or debit note issued by the supplier, bill of entry for imports. In case where the reverse charge mechanism applies, a payment voucher or self invoice, other documentation, expense vouchers for service falling under the reverse charge mechanism. Um, any accounting records linking the input tax paid with the output. A crucial part of the GST is it plays a very vital role in reducing tax liabilities for businesses, thus promoting tax compliance and efficiency. Compliance is key. Strict adherence to the conditions for eligibility and timely filing is essential to maximize benefits under input tax credit. Thank you.